Welcome to another episode of the Borderless ODC podcast. My name is Michael Benga, and with me I have Malik. Welcome to the show, Malik.
Thank you, my God. Thank you.
Sir, how are you feeling today?
I'm good, man. I'm feeling real good. How about yourself?
Can't complain. It's getting cold.
It
It's
is.
getting cold outside, but I like this weather. I like when it's changing from fall to winter, because I don't like the cold too much, but I like the in between. I like the changes. I feel like it comes with a lot of changes for me personally too. And the world is changing, we are changing. And when the weather changes, I feel like I change a lot because now I have to change the way I dress. I have to change the way I go out, the way I look. So it's nice.
I was gonna ask, do you think you change as a person along with the seasons?
I do. I do. I do believe I do believe we are part of nature. We are nature. And nature changes. The trees, they
Mm-hmm.
change. The animals, they change. We are animals as well. We're human
Or
beings.
technically mammals?
Yeah, we're human
Technicality.
beings. That's right. That's right. We're human beings. And we do have our own seasons as well. But sometimes it can be hard to keep track of these changes because life is moving at such a fast pace in modern society that I don't see how much am I changing. Absolutely, but I don't see how much or in what ways I'm changing, except I pause
You're living at such a speed.
at such a speed. Except I pause, take a look back, and say, "Oh, look at where I'm at.
Exactly.
Look at where I was
Exactly.
2 years ago." And I'm like, wow, so much has happened. And that's why it's important to journal sometimes, every day or every 2 days, whatever pace you can go at, because it helps you keep track of what you're doing in life and where you're at and where you want to go or where you've been, but these are very interesting topics which I want to dive in with you today. You're
Yes,
one of
sir.
the most hardworking and motivated people I know,
Thank you.
Malik. But tell me a little bit about yourself. Where were you born? Where did you grow up?
I was born in Washington, D.C., raised in Prince George's County, Maryland.
Wow, born in DC and raised in
And I
Maryland.
put PG because I moved a lot growing up, so,
Yeah.
I can't put one spot. I moved a lot, but it was all in PG County.
Yeah. So you've moved a lot. Was that during your childhood, or
Yeah.
do you mind if I ask, what was the reason for that? Like,
Um, honestly, I don't have, like, a correct answer for that.
yeah,
To be 100% honest, with you, I don't really know. I would have to ask that, do some research myself on that. I just
yeah.
know I moved a lot growing up.
How would you say that affected you mentally, emotionally? Because I know, as a kid growing up and just having to move from places to places, and let's say you move to one place, you have a set of friends, and then you're moving, you're leaving them behind,
Exactly.
and now you're forming new friends, and
And
then
it's different adjustments and adapt, you know what I
a
mean?
year later, you have to move again, make new friends.
Exactly. And it's so much different stuff going on, different environments, different people, different,
Uh,
So it's just
how would
everything's
you
different.
say? How would you say that has affected you? Or how did that affect you? In what ways do you think that
I
affected
feel
you?
like it can affect you from like a attachment standpoint.
Mm,
It's like, all right, not to be like, how can I say it? If you're a kid and you know you're gonna move that much, even though I wasn't that kid, but you knew, it's like I'm not gonna get too attached to these kids. I'm not gonna know them in like maybe a year or two. I'm not gonna know them anymore. I'm not gonna see them no more, something like that. But I guess like without realizing it, it affects you in the long run of life,
it does.
from like jobs and everything else. And some people you meet and it's great, genuine, it's great, but sometimes you're just like, I mean, it's just another coworker, or just another. So I guess from that factor
Yeah,
to make sense out of it.
yeah.
But yeah, I think and then you know, like you said, different schools and different things like that. But that's about pretty much it.
Yeah. So you moved a lot as a kid. Tell us a little bit about your childhood. Like, what was a typical day in your house like?
Mm,
Did you grow up with your mom and your
yeah,
dad?
it was just my mom.
Just your mom
So
and your dad?
no dad. I mean, I mean, if we, I'm just being 100% blunt with you. I thought we was 100%.
No, the way that came out, and I'm like,
I mean, that's just what it is. But that's just what it is. No dad. It's my mom.
yeah. But you know your dad. Do you know your dad?
I somewhat knew somewhat of him.
That's
You're
tough.
gonna make me laugh this whole thing. You gonna make me laugh though. Listen.
The way that
These
came out,
reactions.
I just thought about Jesus.
I guess my face expression, right? Because it's so serious. It's the truth.
No, yeah, that was, yeah.
You just be like, I don't know, like you at a point in life, you be like, that's just what it is.
Yeah,
No matter how you want to look at it, you know what I mean? Like that's just what it is.
yeah.
Not what you think it should be, not what you feel it should be.
It is what it is.
You feel me? Exactly.
That's just the reality, and you just build from that.
You feel me? That's all you can do.
So, man, that's tough. I mean, I have so many questions in my head I wanna ask. I'm thinking of which one should I exactly start with. Growing up as a black.
And I'm gonna be 100% blunt too.
Yeah, oh, I know.
So
I
you
know.
don't have to.
Oh, I know. I'm just thinking of so many questions. I'm like, okay, I want to ask them in a chronological way, just to make sure they come off each other. I don't want to like ask a high and then ask a low. But again, I don't want to like
That's
think
cool.
too
I
much
got you,
about
bro.
it either. So,
It's cool.
just growing up with your mom, as a black kid,
Mm-hmm.
how would you think it affected you not having a father figure around?
I mean, many ways, a whole lot of ways. Like a woman can't teach a boy how to be a man. So you mean it's a whole lot of ways. You got to teach yourself that sooner or later. And then the role models around you got to be actual role models. Just because they in your life don't mean they're a role model.
Yeah.
They mean teaching the right thing. So you know what I mean. Just because it's around you. So you know what I mean. It's a whole lot of ways that affect you. From a lot of ways. But it's a lot of things that only they can teach you. So you know what I mean. It affects you in that way, and stuff like that. But like you said, you got to grow through it.
Man, that's tough. That's tough. Because the narrative, I mean, I'm African, you're American, and narrative in the U.S. and I'm sure in the world at large is that black dads don't they don't stick around, and it's up to the moms and the kid to come together as one to actually build at home, and I can't even imagine how difficult it is.
Well, as a kid, I didn't realize till I got older. It was some hater shit. But as a kid, I used to like not fuck with people who had dads. Like people were like, "Oh, you got a dad?" Like you know what I mean? I'm like, "Fuck, you need a dad for?" I ain't got a dad. I'm good. So like, realistically, like, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. That's how I used to really feel when I grew up. Like, damn, that's some hater shit. That's like now I'm like, you got your dad. That's what's up, y'all. You know what I mean? I'm gonna applaud it and everything like that. I applaud and everything like that. But like back then, that was the truth. I was like, you got a dad? Fuck you need a dad for? I ain't got a dad. That was my hating type, but like, nah, like, that's it. As far as that part.
What came with that change of mindset where as a kid you were like, okay, if you have a dad, then fuck you. But
But, like, I ain't hate them niggas. I don't want to make it seem like I hated them or nothing.
when did that switch come
But like,
about
if you
where
start
like,
crying or something around me and you had a dad, I'm like, this nigga had a dad, he crying and shit. You know what I mean? Like, I used to really take that shit personally. Like, you know what I'm saying? But the switch is when you realize it's wrong. Like when you grow and realize right from wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're a kid. Like, damn, that's actually fucked up. It's actually you're supposed to have a dad. You're supposed to. You can't make the world adjust to your life.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So it's like
yeah.
you make the most of it and the best of it. But you can't be mad at the rest of the world. Somebody else's life a little better than yours. You know? So
Yeah, Malik, you have so much wisdom.
I
Again,
appreciate that.
yes, sir. One of the most hardworking people, one of the most, motivated people
Thank you.
I know. But I also do know people who are wise, people who are so hardworking. Sometimes, not all the time, but most of the time, a lot of that wisdom comes from pain. a lot of that wisdom comes from, from hurting and healing and realizing and just shedding your whole self,
Mm-hmm.
because we're always in transition. We're
Mm-hmm.
always moving from point A to point B, whether physically or emotionally or spiritually. We're always in transition. So where did all that character build up from? Just being hardworking and motivated and so wise.
Um, First and foremost, God. You know what I mean? You gotta put God first.
Yep.
Cause you don't know how any of this, you know what I mean? He built you to be this way. So you know what I mean? You gotta get that to God first. If we take any credibility or I started this, and this, you gotta get that to him first. When you go in the hole, he don't want to pick you out of it. You know what I mean? He don't want to keep you up, help you levitate and all that. So you gotta give it to God first. So all praise to the Most High. But I don't know where to start. I would like to say it sounds funny, but as far as like maybe the personality, I want to say public school, bro. I feel like you gotta have some type of like personality and something like in public school. I feel like and it's not to knock nobody who don't, but like public school plays a big role in that, especially at least the ones we went to growing up.
So what is it about public schools that would make a kid that way? Like what exactly about public schools?
Not knocking private schools, but I feel like private schools you go somewhere and they tell you to be a certain way and that's how you are. I feel like public school, the teacher come there and do their job, which is to teach you the best way they can, but you still yourself. You know what I mean? You pay for that higher education in private, it's more strict, it's more all that. All those kids free to themselves. But the public is like, we connect in this way. This is how we connect. This is what we do to connect this way. This is a connection that we have.
So it just builds character naturally.
I feel like it. Or even it's just like, community. Because you a part of your environment. So, you know what I mean? You had to be built around that. You had to come around from something because, if you take a person and just put them in a dark, bring them around that when they come around the light, how do you think they going to act?
Very different.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, that's what I'm saying. So it's like you putting somebody to the side. Or, like I said, I'm not knocking that, but it's like you're being trained versus you're being taught. You're being taught still, but it's like, you do this way, do this that way.
I like that. I like that being
That's just my
trained.
viewership on it,
Yeah.
my opinion.
Absolutely. So, your dad wasn't in the picture. I mean, that's tough. That's tough on literally anyone. Growing up. My mom and my dad they separated when I was 10. So I just finished primary school. I think you guys call it what? I think that's grade six.
Yeah, sixth grade, yeah.
Sixth grade, yeah. So moving to middle school. Yeah, you guys call it middle school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I guess, like, my mom in them days, it was junior high. But
Junior
you got to be,
high.
like, oldest.
See, that's how we still call it.
Yeah, you
Junior
like
high
old as
and then
hell. You
senior
call
high.
it
Yeah,
that.
that's crazy.
Because I've been out of middle school for years, so you're old as hell if you call it junior high.
That's why. So we still call it junior high. Well,
Y'all holding on to that tradition
yeah,
heavy, huh?
JSS, junior secondary school.
Yeah.
And then that's from grade 7 to 9, 8, 7, 8, 9.
Shit, I mean, you start off a year early.
Yeah.
For freshman.
Mm,
So you go to high school. You just sophomore through senior.
okay. Okay. So yeah, I was moving on to junior high,
Yeah.
and then yeah, my parents separated, and it affected me. It affected me a lot, mentally, emotionally. And the funny thing is, at that moment, I didn't know the effect it had on me,
Of course.
because all I was doing
You're
was
a child.
I was a child, and I still had to do what I had to wake up to go to school. So guess every day I'd wake
But
up.
I do have a comment
to
of
school.
yours, you don't mind?
Mm-hmm.
To add to yours. I do feel like a person like your situation is a little more deeper than mine. And my reasoning for that is because you've seen something.
Yeah,
You feel me?
yeah.
You can't really. So I get people like, oh, you didn't, but it's harder to like have too much emotion to something you have an attachment with. You've
Yeah.
seen this.
Yeah.
So you have your life as a kid thinking, what could I have done different? What could it have been if it stayed? You know what I mean? All these things. Me, on the other hand, was just like, oh, they got a, like I said, they got a dad. That's it for real. But like,
That was
so you know what I mean? Like when I think about stuff like yours, that's why I hear stuff like yours, and I'm like, I was alright, bro. Like, cause I don't gotta think about my age. Like, I'm a grown man. I'm not like 14 or 12 or something like this. You know what I mean? You still going. I'm grown. And it's been that way. It's not something, so it doesn't affect me like in a crazy way. It's not like, well, I'm just adjusting to this. Or I'm just. It's been that way.
Yeah.
And I see how it affects me with certain things in certain ways, but like that's just what it is. That's why I said with yours, like I understand that a little more because you actually seen it.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That's both your parents.
Yeah.
So you know.
So yeah, absolutely. For me, in my case, in my situation, um, again, 10 parents separated, and like I said, on a day-to-day basis, I didn't feel, or I never had time to pause because I had to go to school every day. I had to go to school, and it took me some time, maybe a decade even, to actually sit down, and look back at how much it impacted me.
Mm-hmm.
Because missing one of your parents at home, mom, dad, whoever it is, the woman has certain things, certain roles and responsibilities they play in a child's life.
Mm-hmm.
Same with the dad.
Exactly.
One of them is missing.
So now the other one has to step up, and it's just not going to be the same.
It's not, and that's an issue for the kid.
Exactly.
And for the longest
And then
time,
that absence from
yeah,
actually having a presence to that absence
yes,
plays a big role.
a huge one, a huge one. You know the type of food we eat, because my mom used to cook every day, and now we don't cook every day
Cause we ain't
anymore.
got time. We got to step up and work hard. Now you got
Yeah,
to get McDonald's. We ain't got time to cook.
yeah.
I've been working all day now. It's just enough time for you. You know what I mean? So of course.
You know, and it's interesting how, as children, as black kids, as black boys, for example, we are not taught these things. Um, you just have to look around and learn and pick up yourself and move forward. And sometimes we get led into the wrong group, hang with the wrong friends, and anything can happen out there. The world is it's huge. It has its good sides, but it has its bad sides as well.
But then we also grow to learn perspective. It's like for me. So like you said, okay, like even the people that I felt like I had a crazy fall off with, like friends and things like that. I feel like some of the worst people told me the best things. If that makes any sense.
That's interesting.
Like, like we wasn't meant to be cool how that fell off and all that, but like I learned some things from you, and I appreciate that at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And I always keep it real. As far
Yeah,
as like, I'm gonna give you a credit. I'm
yeah,
gonna value that.
yeah,
Anybody's got that viewership on it, but that's what we was locked in with, type
yeah,
thing. You know, so yeah, you grow up and like you said, meet different people, different things. But that's when you grow and realize what's for you and what's not, and who's for you and who's not.
absolutely,
Friends and things like that. You know, who really have true care for you.
absolutely.
What you know what I mean? What situation you put yourself in?
Yeah, yeah,
So you know.
yeah. And what's the relationship with your mom? This is a woman who, I mean, you've known your whole life, and she's literally looked after you.
Can
It,
somebody be your whole heart and your headache, your biggest headache at the same time? That's what that woman is. But that's my whole heart more than anything.
yeah,
That's my. I can't even put no words on it. You know, what I mean, I gotta get a tattoo for her soon. I'm getting it checked out, find a little spot to put it on my arm, whatever the case may be. Put a little nice tattoo for her and everything like that, some designs and things like that. But I don't know where to start.
yeah.
I mean, that's yeah. We had our ups and downs. Don't get me wrong, but yeah,
I mean, ups and downs is normal,
I love my mama.
Yeah, it's I know, and I think I've met her twice. Amazing woman. You know, and ups and downs in a relationship, friendship, romantic, mom and
Everything,
dad.
yeah.
It's
It's a
it's
part of
it's
life.
it's a part of life.
Mm-hmm.
And that's normal. But I'm sure she's proud of you and the man you're becoming. So what do you do like these days? Like what do you do? What are you up to? In life.
Right now, I'm currently working. Then I'm in school for trade school, stuff like that. You know,
Okay.
skills and things like that to learn that. Get
Okay.
paid certified ways and things like that.
So,
Then just things in my free time, goals I have in my free time right now. I rather accomplish before I reveal than told you I had it written down already.
You say what?
I said didn't tell you that I had it written down already and show you when it was a goal. But that's it really, just trying to progress. Trying to progress and then any way I can do to, help youth anybody in need.
So trade school. What are you learning?
I'm learning a little bit of everything. I'm learning about pretty much air conditioning, ventilation, things with copper and that nature, electricity, plumbing, all type of things like that.
That's dope.
Yes, sir.
And how did you get interested in doing that?
Um,
Because I'm just thinking there's so
hundred
many
percent
things you
honestly.
could learn in trade school. But you were like, okay, HVAC, that's it for me.
You know how like you ever seen the memes with like rappers, music isn't that good, they tell them just go get a CDL?
I don't think I've seen that
Yeah, it
one.
got memes like that. Just telling you go
Yeah.
get a CDL, they still make 100,000 a year. So the point I'm getting to was I had all this other stuff going in life. It wasn't going as planned how I wanted to go. So I said, you know what, brother, let me just really sit down, focus on something and really, a essential craft, something that's gonna really last. Type thing, in all seriousness. So that's what really, drove me there.
That's dope. That's dope. So how's that coming along for you? And what's the goal like down the line? Do you want to have your own thing going on? Do you want to get some experience first and then own something on your own HVAC company? Or are you just gonna like, or you just living everything like you just want to see how things flow naturally for you? Because I know you're the type of person who would.
Yeah, cause I can make all these plans, but the best way forward to flow out is one day at a time and things like that. But I mean, right now everything's going well. I'm doing well and everything like that. I'm taking care of business and everything I got to. But one day at a time right now.
Yeah,
One day at a time. I got things in mind, but need to be thought out a little more first.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
You
before
know,
bringing it to the table.
definitely. Earlier, you spoke about, helping young people develop, grow, and I've seen how you've been, holding or treating Ibrahim, who, is a mutual youngin for, for both of us, and as someone who grew up without a father figure or knowing how to or just learning those attributes or skills because you sometimes growing up with a dad you get to learn how to be a man in code, teach you how to shave, teach you how to play football,
Everything.
whatever it is,
Well, I mean, look, to be realistic, the most important part that nobody ever thinks about when a single mother raises you, teach you how to piss. You know what I mean? Nobody thinks about that. Your mother don't have one, so she just gotta fucking make you imagine
yeah,
aim like this at the toilet. You know what I mean? So
yeah, yeah,
that's the bluntness in it. That's just me, the bluntness in it. But it's things like that.
yeah,
That part that people don't think about. But what was your question when I asked you? I'm sorry about that.
yeah. No, you're good, you're good. I was trying to ask or trying to see
Hmm.
how do you, how do you how do you connect those two? Because if someone who grew up without having a father figure and now you're here helping young black boys, telling them what to do or like trying to point them in the right direction or, helping them with things, he needs a ride, you go pick him up, drop him to work, drop him back at home, trying to make sure he's straight, he's doing his school work. How did that come about? Like, how do you, I'm trying to find a place how that
Connected.
started in you. Yeah.
Well, how do I say this? It's a couple ways. Like I said, I'll start off by saying you are what you practice, right? And then life is about cycle. So you have positive cycles and negative cycles. So if you are what you practice, and you know what I mean, and I teach you the right positive thing, and that's the cycle that we're going, because right now we're coming from a negative one. But we can escape this negative one. You know what I mean? You escaped it and went to a positive, you want to stay here now. You don't want to go back to no negative. So you know what I mean? So it's like you don't look at the younger ones or anyone else and go, I was cool to that or did it. Nobody wants to live like this. Nobody wants to live, you know what I mean, the way they wanted it and things like that in nature. So, um, it's really about being like more selfless than selfish, you feel me? Because it's like they say you got to be the person that you didn't have, that you wish you had.
Yeah.
So, things like that in nature. You don't watch something wrong and just go do more wrong and add on to it. It's like you ain't you ain't really making no difference. So you're not.
Uh,
So it's like if it's going in the wrong nature, like I said. So if it's you're around negativity and some type of positivity can bring you away from that. Why not?
that is true.
And then what does it cost you? Don't you sleep better at night knowing you did better for the world. You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
it's way more dedication you got to add than evil.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So it's just like I don't know. It's just like, as far as I don't know why I go the other ways when I'm saying when I say I don't know, but yeah, it's just my reasoning. Really, it's just like brighter future for them.
Yeah, yeah. And it's fascinating how life works, and how, again, try to be something, you know you've never had, or
What I also want to add to that is we have things we go through as adults and things like that, but I also feel like um from what I'm doing with that aspect, anything else I'm doing positive in life, I feel like we contribute to this earth is a portion of the blessings we get back from God. So
mm,
me teaching you to go this way, do this right way, this right way, and I might not know how I'm gonna have this figured out. Somehow, some way, in 2 days, God help me figure it out.
yeah,
And I mean, I ain't saying it just because I helped you or just because, but I feel like it's because the right being is gonna do. You know what I mean, I feel like if you do good,
yeah,
good will happen to you.
comes back to you.
But it's that faith too. You gotta have that faith.
mm,
You know what I mean? You can't just be thinking it's gonna happen right now. Like I can't pray right now. God, please let me get it's gonna happen right now.
yeah, yeah.
And then I'm getting mad when it don't, because I don't. That mean I don't really believe in you.
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
mean, faith is to really, truly, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Next level.
yeah,
Dedicatedly believe in
yeah,
something. So that's why I say it comes down to faith as well. You can't just be. You have to have strong and high faith.
yeah. And I think it's important you've actually talked about faith, because, first of all, do you have like a personal example of how faith has impacted your life?
Yeah. I have a couple stories about that, but you can start from as a kid, from when you pray and you have all this faith, all these things to change for you. Then you grow older and see it really did. You can have as an adult when you were trying to find yourself and figure life out, and you couldn't. You know what I mean? God was the last option, which is you and God, and that's the faith you put in Him and yourself got you. You know what I mean? Where you are, because I believe you gotta have faith in yourself as well. But second, after God, you gotta put God first. But you gotta have faith in yourself as well. Because sometimes in life, like you might see it before anybody else do. Whatever the next blueprint or the plan might be, and they might be like, "Nah, that's not next. That's not it. That's not." But you know what's next.
Yeah,
So you might have stand by yourself alone in that corner. But when it popped and everybody, oh, but you knew the whole time.
yeah,
You knew it took them 5 years to see the vision. It took them however long. You knew. You knew what this was gonna be. You knew how. You know what I mean? 'Cause the determination you're the creator, what you're putting into this, you knew. So that's another thing with faith.
interesting.
Sometimes you gotta be the one alone with faith.
Yeah. So how did you get so grounded in faith? Um,
Personal experience, I should say more so. You've seen things for other people, but personal experience is better.
mm,
I mean,
so you just looked at your own life and see how it's played out, and you believe God has his hands, or her hands. You believe God is a man or woman.
I can't even go there. You're getting political with me now. You're getting political with me now. You can have every religion in my phone. That's how you feeling. I'm not. I'm not gonna say anything further than God. 'Cause I know we're gonna get deep into religions. I'm not gonna have that debate right here. I'm not. You believe in a higher being, a higher God. That's what matters at the end. I'm not gonna disrespect your religion, anything like that.
No, yeah, I feel you.
This get really political in 2023. It get really political. You can't say anything.
No, it does. It does. I feel like we're living at a juncture on this planet where things are changing,
Hmm.
and it's evident that things are changing, and a new world is being formed. I mean, a new world is being formed every single day, but at the rate at which things are changing today, and have you seen the AI pins?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
I mean, those are one of the scariest things ever invented. AI. When I first learned about that, I'm like, damn. Like,
yeah,
is this me right now?
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like we wasn't doing this right now. It's like, damn. Like, they can really impersonate to this level. Like, you gotta switch it up because they gonna really impersonate you.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's crazy, man. But I'm not gonna say nothing political. I'm not gonna sit here and say nothing. I'm not gonna sit here and say nothing I wanted to say. That's cool. I say a lot of things to be blunt about a lot of stuff, but AI got it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's fascinating. At the same time, it's very scary to think about humankind. I mean, there are species on this planet that have been extinct. So I think thinking that as humans we have it all figured out and we will never be extinct is a reach, if you ask me. There is that
Let me
possibility.
ask you
There's
this: do you
always
feel like
that possibility.
so with you being from Sierra Leone, me being from America, do you feel like, especially being over America, do you feel like, unless us Americans that travel, do you feel like when we say things about Earth, I don't know if it's just me, I haven't traveled enough, but do you feel like we be acting like it's just our country when we say things? They be like, "Ain't no way on Earth." I'm like, "Nah, it's somewhere in another country or something." You know what I mean? I'm like, it's so much more in life.
Oh, that's a good one.
You ever heard somebody like in that
Yes,
term?
yes,
It's
yes,
like,
yes.
I've never seen any. It's like it's way
Yeah,
more in life than the
yeah,
United States.
yeah, yeah.
I have yet to see all of it, but you know,
It might be happening at the next town that you've never been to.
yeah.
It might be happening at the next city you've never been to.
So that was just something funny. I just thought that
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know, made me think of that. But
That's a good one. There's a saying: there's nothing new under the sun. So, everything that's happening now, a version of it has happened before.
yes, sir.
And all
That
we,
cycle, like we said.
yeah, yeah, and all we're doing is basically just maybe making it a little better. Software updates. That's what they do. Now there's a new software. Okay, well, there was one before, but this one works better.
Somewhat, we did something, tweak it up.
Yeah. So it's again, the world is progressing at a very, very rapid
Questionable
rate.
way.
Yes, yes,
Everything's electric.
and talking about progress and all. Well, you said nothing political, but do you think do you think as black people, especially young black men, we are being left behind when it comes to
I said, yeah, I was going to answer your question before you said left behind. Now I gotta get political again. Go ahead, though. It's cool. Go ahead, ask your question. It's cool. I watched my Obama before you got here. It's cool.
No, no, yeah. Do you think we're being left behind when it comes to the? Because when you look at the companies, for example, a lot of the CEOs, right? You look at all those companies, a lot of them are white. The CEO, the vice. Um, do you think, even though the world is changing, there's technology, there's this, as an American in this country that you were born into, you've been here for so long. Do you think systematically? Do you think the change is matching the speed at which it's changing in other sectors?
How do I say this? Cause for my people, with all due respect and love, I ain't against nobody, but I gotta represent for my people. So I feel like we have steps and progress in somewhat, but I do feel like we get put on the back burner. I do feel like everybody else get their rights before us and everything else, as far as like not, excuse me, but like not like voting rights and everything like that. The civil rights went hard for. But I'm talking about like when you look at, and not to be racist or anything like that, but you look at the counts of the cops' interactions with young black males in any other race, as soon as it happens to another race, it's going crazy. This is viral. This is what else is just like just another video. To the point where I don't know about you, but as a black individual, it numbs you. You don't even want to watch this anymore.
Yeah,
And so many of them already died.
yeah, yeah.
Like I'm watching Fruitvale Station 10 years ago, and that happened 4 years before that movie came out. So you think from then to all the things to now to there's so many more things. Like I said, it's the back burner. Somewhere it's the back burner, no matter how you want to look at it, because it's still gonna be some obstacle built for you. That's why, in my opinion, we're amazing. Because we surpass it all.
Yeah,
It's the magic.
yeah,
We
yeah,
surpass it all.
yeah,
You make rules for us, and we still somehow win against the rules.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
yeah.
We win with the rules against them no matter how you want to play it. But, that's why I said that. So, I'm not trying to get political or knock nobody else, because you got people that come from other countries all around. Like, I don't know how about all the other races did, as far as the carryouts and the gas stations and all that, but they did what they did and came made the business and did it, the correct way. I feel like we can too. But it's all come to unity, you know what I mean? And like,
Absolutely.
things like that.
Absolutely.
Putting pride and ego aside, stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody can't be the quarterback.
No. No.
So,
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, you made a really good point about unity. Yeah, and I feel like that's what's holding us back.
that's the main thing you need.
Um,
Everybody else come together and say, we can do this, we can do this, we can do this. They take an L for one another and then they all become a big W.
yeah.
We don't see the big picture yet.
Mm-mm.
And it's some that do, but the ones that don't is what I'm speaking for.
Yeah.
And I ain't knocking you. I ain't always see it.
Yeah. As black people, sometimes we tend to glorify negative things
But
more.
we had to realize is we're brainwashed. You feel me?
Heavily.
It's what you putting in front of me. So that's another thing. What you got to realize is like what you control yourself from social media, internet, what you're watching on TV, some of the worst things are the most entertaining. So you know what I mean. That's why I said it's like a brainwash. You got to catch it. Even the music you listen to. Some of it's cool, but you can't let it adapt to you as a person. Can't make a rap lyric become your reason of action. You know what I mean? Or you did something. So
Some of the worst things are the most entertaining.
you feel me? That's just the truth.
I like that. And that's the thing we delve into. We like gossip. We like the gist. We want to know who's sleeping with who.
You feel me?
Like those things sell more than, hey, let's get together and help this kid from this neighborhood go to school.
Exactly.
Let's get together and help this woman find a job.
Exactly.
Let's get together and help this young man, who's from prison, get
Figure his life out. You know what I mean?
But
Get a
no.
second life.
So who's Malik sleeping with now? Have you heard? Yeah, it's things like that, and naturally as humans, those are the things we like. Weirdly, and that's what sells. And
That's when you learn your mind control.
yeah,
What you let yourself get triggered to.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
Yeah, we are consumers. Fixed. That's what we are as human beings. We are consumers. We consume. We consume. I'm not talking about food.
no, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
I'm talking about literally everything around us. The what's on social media, our phones, the type of clothes, the type of shoe we want to wear. And again, talking about mind control. Your mind has to, first of all, you gotta know yourself.
Exactly.
Know what you want.
That's where it starts.
Know where you wanna go.
So once you figure that part out, it's like you take advice, but opinions aren't facts.
Mm-mm.
You feel me? So it's like, and then it's like you also don't like. I feel like me personally, I don't take too many things personally anymore.
Mhm.
As much as I once would have. You know what I mean? So it's like because like it don't matter because you know what really truly affects. You know everything about yourself.
Yeah.
Only you and God know everything about yourself. So I feel like it really just don't matter after some things after a while when you really come to that conclusion. You come to that part of life. Unless it affects something that's really big that's with you, all that other stuff don't even matter. That used to affect you at least. At least for me personally. Can't speak for everybody else.
So I really hope as black people, we could come together and actually unite to push the culture forward.
Yes, sir.
So we're 40 minutes in and just growing up without a dad, um, going to public schools. I know I deal with anxiety a lot, which at first I never spoke about because I thought, why would I talk about my anxiety? No one is talking about anxiety. And eventually I started talking to people about my anxiety and I realized that everyone has anxiety, literally.
Okay. Sometimes you don't realize that you have anxiety, is what I'm trying to say.
Mm,
You know what I mean? So sometimes you're going through all these things and all that, you don't realize that it's anxiety. So you're not treating it as anxiety.
definitely, definitely. I know we've talked about anxiety a couple of times.
Mhm.
And given your background, how have you, like, growing up in a home with a single mom? How have you dealt with your anxiety as a man? Because there are things sometimes you go through, even if you explain it to your mom, she wouldn't understand. Um, oh, well, I don't know if shouldn't is the word I should be using, but you know what I mean.
I mean, that's the way to put it. 'Cause like we just said, it's a lot of things a woman can't instill or teach or have an knowing of that I'm at with. Not knocking them, not saying, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're not
yeah, absolutely.
as educated or anything like that, but, just in the nature of
Hmm.
it. Just like it's things a man can't teach, a girl or a woman can.
Yeah.
That nature. But, shit. I don't even know. I don't even know where to start. I mean, it come a lot of anxiety. You don't know what's next. Like I said, we moved a lot, so you don't know when you about to move again. You don't know what's what sometimes. It's just a lot of confusion.
Yeah,
It's a lot of confusion.
yeah.
It's a lot of, I guess, growing up from the law sometimes.
How
It's
do
so much
you
different.
how do you find clarity? How do you clear that confusion? Like, what do you have?
Like a balance.
Yeah, like a balance. How do you find that balance where in a state I'm confused, but I have to make this move, but then I don't know if I'm moving in 2 weeks.
It was like you
Even as an
said.
adult.
So as a kid, and growing until an adult, like you said, like growing up fast and just making moves. Some of them you didn't know that you was making. That's how you learn some of your biggest lessons.
Yeah.
Some of you made way too fast. Money and all type of things. So some things you got yourself into, you had to get yourself out of. All type of things like that. But I mean, like as an adult, I feel like you grow and have lessons, and you grow into like yourself fully, and then from there, I can't speak for everyone, but I feel like from there you can think your decisions through.
Yeah.
It's how you want to see life at that point. You can see it your way or,
Definitely.
how things are.
Yeah.
So, as far as clarity and things like that, that's how I see it as an adult.
Mm, mm, mm.
As
And
far as dealing with anxiety as an adult, I mean, we're going to all deal with that. The crazy part that made me, like, kind of, like, get through it easier, it's, like, crazy to say and sad, but, like, it's going to always be there some way. You could be 80 and some type of anxiety might pop in life, right? So you might as well find a strategy to get through it rather than trying to push it away and never make it come back. Because somehow, some way, something's going to bring some type of anxiety in life.
yeah.
Especially when you're aiming to go for something or trying to do something, be destined for something. It's going to bring some type of anxiety, but you got to know how to make it through it.
Anxiety is what makes you feel alive.
You know what I mean?
That's
It's like it's
that's
like an
proof
adrenaline.
you're alive. Yes.
It's like an adrenaline. It's like it reminds you
Yes.
what you have going on.
Yes.
It's like you get anxiety even when you're like down or have nothing going on because you have nothing going on.
Hmm.
So you know what I mean? You might have the highest anxiety at that point. That might be your lowest point. But even when you got a lot going on, trying to have a lot going on, as far as motion and stuff like that, it's gonna build a lot of anxiety. But that's what comes with it. So it's about knowing how to get through that and balance and strategies and things like that.
Yeah.
We're gonna have some days. We always have some days, like you know what I mean, like. But it's about learning how to balance them out and learn how to
Definitely.
get to that day. Like, this is just one of those days. But
Yeah.
we ain't promised tomorrow. Prayerfully, when we get it, it's we better than what today was. It's just one
Yeah.
of those type of things.
Yeah. You said something earlier that stuck with me about you learned the best lessons from the worst situations.
Oh, best days from the worst people. But how we gonna put it?
Hmm.
Both things make sense.
And what's the best lesson you've learned in life so far?
Think for yourself.
Think for yourself. Ooh, that's a good one.
As selfish as it sounds, think for yourself.
That's a good one. I like that. I like that. But just man, it's been fun. Seeing you after what 5, 6, 7 months.
I don't know, man. It's been quite a while. It's been a while.
you know,
It's been a minute.
you called me and we spoke about this podcast, and I'm glad we're doing it.
I
Um,
appreciate it, by the way.
I'm glad you're doing it. But just closing up, do you have any word of advice, for people out there dealing with anxiety, or maybe people who don't have a father figure or didn't grow up with a father figure, and are feeling kind of like left out in life, or don't want to do anything with their lives anymore just because I didn't have a dad growing up. Do you have any word of advice or encouragement for people out there?
To anybody going through anything like that or anything in life in general, my advice to that and my word to that is that's not your purpose. That's not your whole life. That's not your whole story. That's a part of it. So, that doesn't mean stop. As long as you still got all 5 senses and you're blessed to see another day, keep going. And not even if you don't have all 5 senses. Because look at Ray Charles and the rest of them. You can keep going in life. Nothing can stop you. You know what I mean? Only you and God is the only person that can get in the way of anything you have going on. So, stay focused. Remain true to yourself more than anything. Enjoy your life while we have it.
Yeah.
And then I also, before we leave, want to give a shout out to my guy, my brother Mike. You know what I'm saying? Help me on a positive route with life. Help me get back in school and all that in that nature.
Yes, sir.
Made sure I did everything I was supposed to, followed up and everything like that. Helped me get right on the right track and everything. So I want to get a shout out to my brother Mike. Close it out.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
Yes, sir.
you.
Much love. Much love.
Thank you.
For this podcast, M&M edition. We out.